uh, Grandmaster Teddy, I'm going to show you one of the most brilliant games you've ever seen in your life. Teddy, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for one of the best finishes in chess. The end of this game is something to behold. It's so beautiful. It's double check, and then double check again, and double checkmate. Have you ever seen that before in your life? Right, so here we go. Right, so he played e4. I'm playing nh4, queen takes h4. He's from the United States, and his rating is 2,067. I've played him 4 times, and I've won 3 hard-fought games, and he's won 1, right? Right, so here we go. Knight f6, e5, knight to d5, and we're playing the Alekhines defence, the normal variation. It's played by greats such as Carlsen, and it's also been played by Nakamura and others. c4 is played, knight to b6, and now d4. So he's just trying to gain space, control the centre, and basically squash me. So I've got to fight my way out of a paper bag, so to speak. So I played d6, started to begin the fight with d6. It's a slow, tedious exercise, but we're going to get there, aren't we, Teddy? Right? Are you amazed? Are you amazed? Not yet. Not yet, he says. Teddy says he hasn't seen any action yet. He reckons I'm all talk. Teddy does. Anyway, pawn takes. I recaptured with the e-pawn. I think you can take with the c-pawn or the e-pawn, but that's the preferable way because it gives you straight away, it gives you a square for your bishop so you can castle immediately, okay? Whereas if you took with the other pawn, it takes you an extra move to castle, doesn't it? Anyway, played knight c3, so I played bishop e7. I just want a castle so I don't get checkmated. I don't want him to checkmate me. Have a look at him. Can you see his face? He looks like Gotham chess. He looks like Levy. Bishop d3. I thought when I was playing him the first time, I thought, oh my God, it's Levy using a nom de plume. Anyway, castle. I castled. And then he played knight e2. Well, the knights are supposed to go on f3. And I was hoping you'd put it there. Anyway, so I played knight c6. I thought Pragdandaha loves knight c6. All the super grandmasters like knight c6. And Hikaru won last night. Amazing. It was a great game in the candidates in round 2. So congratulations to Hikaru. White castled in this position. And now let's have a look. Bishop f6. It simply it eyes the d4 square, right, with the 2 pieces attacking the pawn. But of course he has got bishop takes pawn check, and I have to watch out for that move. So he played d5, and I thought, oh, this is a bit ambitious. He's overreaching himself a little bit because I'm able to play this move, knight to e5, and I'm attacking his good bishop, which in some variations could have taken the h-pawn, but obviously not now, it's not playable. And I'm also threatening the c-pawn. Now, this is where he makes a mistake according to the chess engine. He's made a big mistake. He played bishop f4. I think he thought that I was just going to take his bishop and he'll recapture with the queen with a decent game. However, he's dropped his c-pawn, right? It's like you've dropped your pants, isn't it, right? You're in public and you've dropped your pants and you say, oh no, what have I done? Right. So anyway, he took my knight and he thought, oh, if I take back with the bishop or the pawn, he can take my knight off. So I take with the knight, just play safe, nothing ridiculous. And then he moved his bishop back. And I thought, well, I've got a pawn. So now, from having a pawn and complete black square domination, I've got black square domination here. So he's got a few problems. Even my pawn controls a nice little black square, so I could launch an attack on black squares. Maybe later we'll take the black squares and the white squares. We'll see what happens. Eh? All right then. So I played G6, mainly to stop any attacks here, and also knight here and knight here. All those types of moves. I've stopped a whole lot of them, right? And with that one move. And now he played knight to G3, so I slipped my bishop back. And I thought, well, if he wants to move his knight anywhere, he's probably going to look at knight here and try to get some play. But I thought, if I can get F5 in, well, he'll have nothing. Because he's got no way to get a knight in on E6. Yeah, you see, so he needs a knight in on E6 to cause any damage at all. And if he can't cause any damage, then I'll just slowly build my position and I'll be impregnable. It means I can't get pregnant, Teddy. Impregnable, right? Which means you can't get through and beat the person, I think. Something like that. We'll check up Webster's dictionary, Ted. Anyway, he played this move. What did he play? Rook E1. Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. No, he didn't do that. I don't want to show him the ending, Teddy. I'm showing him the ending. Right, so we castled. We got up to here. I pinched a pawn, right? Yep. And we took back, and then he played bishop there. Then I played there. Then he played knight there. Then I went back. Then he played rook to E1. I've got it right, Teddy. Okay, this is a marvellous game. Hang on to your hats, because you're waiting for the end. It's all about the end, really. But it is nice to see the ideas that we use to get to the end result. Anyway, so I played bishop D7. My plan is to just stop him. In actual fact, bishop here is not a bad move. Try to eliminate a piece, my white squared piece. If he'd made that move, maybe he would have survived what comes later. You'll see what I mean later at the end of the game. So he played F3, and I thought, well, how do I proceed here? So I played knight there. I thought, oh, well, I'll just threaten the pawn. That'll trick him. And if he defends it with the rook, I might be able to play knight takes pawn and bishop takes knight. Right? So if he plays the rook here, knight takes pawn, rook here, knight takes pawn, rook takes knight, bishop takes knight, hits two rooks. And that'd be a nice game, wouldn't it? Okay, so anyway, so I played knight there. Oh, no, he didn't do that. Yeah, I played knight there, and then he played a different move. He played queen to C1. He protected everything. I thought, what's he doing? And he has got an idea of knight here, or something like that, knight there. Maybe he's got some sort of weird idea. Anyway, what I did was I thought, well, I'm going to come up with a move. So I played F5, and the plan was, like I said earlier, to stop his knights coming here and here. So controlling central squares. And my bigger plan is to play queen here and bring my rook across to E8, right? So queen here to F6 and rook to E8. That's my big plan, right? My short-term plan. Anyway, played bishop there. So then I thought, well, I'll go back and I'll attack his bishop. I thought I'd love to take that bishop off. Anyway, he should really come here, maybe. Oh, they can't do that. I'll take his knight, do I? Ooh, it's a tricky variation. Maybe bishop there's his best move. Anyway, let's have a look and see what he did. He went back there, and I thought, that's nice. So I thought, I'll play queen up here. That was my plan. So I stick to my plan, don't I, Teddy? Stick to my plan, right? He played the knight back. At this stage, he's got a problem, and that is I've got a spatial advantage, and I'm controlling all the key squares, as I've described earlier. So I played my knight forwards, right? I thought, well, I'll try to goad him into making a mistake. Anyway, let's see what he did. He played rook to B1, which, I mean, doesn't look like a bad move, does it? But I played rook to E8. Now, the whole idea is I want to now control this square. Knight to E3 is a possibility. At this stage, I don't know how to win. All I know is that I need to try to keep building up and try to get in all these little black holes. You see, you might remember earlier I said I wanted to control all the black squares in this particular position. Anyway, so he played pawn to b3. And this is a really bad move, mainly because it strengthens my long diagonal, right? Strengthens my long diagonal. And now he can never move this knight because that knight will fall. And my knight's just a good knight, isn't it? So I put the knight there on e3. I thought, well, they say put a knight on d6 or e3, and if you can protect it, it can't be taken, you can go to sleep. Not that I want to fall asleep during the game, but I just thought I have to put my knight on a decent square. Anyway, he played bishop there, so I thought, well, I'll stick my bishop in his face because I might want to play knight here. So knight here would attack the queen, right? And the bishop would be protected by this knight, okay? So I wanted to play knight there. That's my idea, and belt his queen. Anyway, he moved his queen away. He says, I don't like that idea. And I thought to myself, what do I do here? I thought, well, gee, I could threaten a checkmate there. That'd be nice. But it's sort of, it's not, I can't see how I can actually finish him off, so to speak. But, and I like my long diagonal too. I like my long diagonal, so I was a bit hesitant to go there. So I played c3. I thought, well, I know what I'll do. I'll take away his control of white squares. See, he's got these white squares controlled. And I thought, if I can just open up my bishop a little bit. See my bishop here? It's not working. And one thing about the chess master here is I always like to get all the pieces working together in harmony. I don't like people to be left out. I'm a very social creature. Right, Teddy? Yep, Teddy knows. Teddy always agrees. Have you noticed that Teddy always agrees? All right, so he took the pawn. So I recaptured with the pawn, right? And you could argue, oh, but John, you've split your beautiful pawns. You had lovely pawns here and here. You've always told us to keep your pawns together. But you don't keep all your pawns together with bishops with open lines. So remember what I also said about open line positions. When you've got open lines, with the bishops, you want an open board as much as possible. You want to control squares and have an open board. But you want a closed board with knights. And so he's not getting what he wants with his knights. Anyway, he played knight there, put the knight on the side of the board, and I thought, that can't be good. So I took his queen off, right? I've got that much confidence in my position at this stage that I was happy to change queens. And he recaptured with the rook. And you think, oh, hold on, well, you've got to win this position from here, and you've got to win it quickly. So I attacked his rook, right, and put my bishop on a good square, back on the long diagonal. And he moved his rook back to b1. It was here that I played king to h8. I don't know what the engine thought of that, but I played it. I played king to h8. I might have wanted to play an attacking move. So I played king to h8. Do you want to know what the engine thought of the move? Okay, all right then. If you want to know what the engine thought about it, I'll try to find it. No. See what the engine thought about my move. 1 minute. What's the engine thinking about my move? King to h8. Where is it? 20. King to h8. So I play king to h8, and the engine says something. I wonder what the engine says. I'll go back one move. I played there, and now I played here. So I'm here. Come on, engine. What are you thinking about this move? And now I play king to h8. either way, black's winning. I'm just wondering what the engine thinks about king to h8 in this position. Because I'm wondering whether I actually played a decent move. I had a plan. Perhaps I don't like the check at some stage in one of the variations. Right. Right, so there we go. Now I played king to h8. The engine's not telling me. But the bar on the side of the board says I'm doing the right thing. Right, so he replied with knight in the A file to c3, put his knight back on a decent square. And then I pushed the pawn. Oh, I know why I played king to h8 now. I remember now. I want to push this pawn too, and I didn't want him to do any combinations like knight takes pawn and pin the knight against the king, right? So I was looking about 3 moves in front, which is I do sometimes, Teddy. You taught me to do that. You taught me, Teddy. Teddy taught me to look many moves in front, and sometimes I'll even use my binoculars. I'll use my little glasses and stuff. But for the purposes of this, I just played knight. He played knight back. He wanted to go backwards, and I thought, what do I do here? So he moved backwards. So I pushed the pawn forwards. That's what I did. And then that's to open up my 2 bishops. I want to get activity with my pieces. And he played knight takes, and I recaptured with the rook. And it was here that the 2 bishops start getting active. You might see my bishops become very active in about 6 moves. It's hard to believe. Have a look at this position. It's move 31 for black. He's just captured on e3. It's hard to believe that in 7 moves it's going to be checkmate, right? It's hard to believe that in 5 moves it's going to be double check, and in 6 moves it's going to be double check again, and in 7 moves it's going to be double checkmate. Isn't that hard to believe? Well, he moved his bishop back, and then the engine says, oh boy, you're in trouble, Mr. H4, Q takes H4. So I doubled the rooks, and look what he did then. He brought his king up to defend his position. He did, didn't he? So you know what I did? I attacked his knight with my bishop. I thought, that's a good move. Just threaten his knight. And he moved his knight away. Now, this was a big mistake. It's not easy to see why, but have a look at this move. Bishop to d4, right? It's a monster, right? So I played bishop to d4, move 34. The game goes to move 38, so we've got 4 moves left. Now what does he do? Well, you'd think you would take the rook off, but if you do take the rook off, you would hate all those double checks. But he took the rook. So what would you take back with? The bishop takes check. Looks good. You got discovered checks. No, I played rook takes. Why? Why did I play rook takes? You might ask, why did you play rook takes, Johnny? Well, I'll tell you why. In this position, okay, I'm threatening discovered checks everywhere. And he can't go back. If he goes back there, right, say he goes back here, that's checkmate, double checkmate, double checkmate, right? Double checkmate, not one checkmate, it's double checkmate, right? So, but he's got a solution. He's found a defence. Knight to h4, queen takes h4, that's his name on chess.com. He's found a great defence. He plays rook to e1. So that's a good idea. It's a great idea because if I take the rook, he can take back with the king. And he's got equal pieces and he's got a chance in the endgame, hasn't he? Equal pieces and equal pawns. It's here that we start the brilliancy, Teddy. This is what you've been waiting... Teddy, this is what you've been waiting for, right? We play rook checks, except it's double check. by the rook and check by the bishop. And he can't go here because it's checked by the bishop. So he's only got one square to go. And he can't take this because this is protected with this bishop. And then he moves back. Then we give him another one. Double check. Yes, it's double check. It's checked by the bishop, right? It's checked by the rook. It's another double check. Have you ever seen 2 double checks in a row? Well, wait for it. I'm going to give you double checkmate. Watch what he does. One square, and now the coup de grace. Hold on, throw in the gold coins. Yep, double checkmate. So double check, and double checkmate. Teddy, do a little dance. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, I was so proud of that game. I showed all my followers on my Twitch stream yesterday. I was really proud of that game, and I put that game in my chess.com library. See, if you play a really good chess game, you can save the game to your chess.com library. And I've got my games, including my 17-move checkmate over Hikaru. I've got that over the Hikaru bot. Yeah, I've got that in my chess library, so you can always save your favourite games. Maybe one day you could write a little book about your favourite games. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that game, and I'm sure Teddy, did you enjoy that game? Yes, you did, didn't you, you cheeky little boy? All right then, so I'm going to wave goodbye. Please give the thumbs up to the video if you like it. And if you subscribe, it's free to subscribe. If you subscribe, it's free. And yeah, so I'd like to thank everybody for supporting my channel. There's not that many people donate to my channel, but there was one donation I received yesterday, and I want to thank that person for making that donation. Right, I think he was from Latvia. I'm not too sure. But I want to thank him for very sincerely for making that small contribution to helping out my channel. Okay, so you take care now, everybody, and God bless. Okay, and stay safe. So I'm going to end my stream now.